What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Hale Sports Cards. Got a fun little one for us today. I stopped by the card shop and I was looking around and I saw Mosaic Fastbreak. So Mosaic Hobby was crazy priced this year. They did make it a lot different, only 5 packs, a lot more parallels, They added a bunch of the case hits to it, stuff like that. I haven't seen a ton of this ripped. Coming in at only 200 instead of like the 500 that the hobby is, didn't seem bad. I mean, for 200 bucks, it's hard to find much these days. I am not as low on this draft class as a lot of people. I think there's some pretty good players in it. There's not that massive Wimby or flag chase, that singular player we're getting ready to have. But so I figured for 200 bucks, why not jump into some Mosaic? I was looking at this and you can get a lot of different numbered cards. The highest numbering is 99, which is much different than the basic Mosaic. That's kind of the cool thing of Fastbreak. However, I do not see case hits on here. So I'm thinking you cannot get case hits out of this, or they're just not on here because, as we know, Panini is known to not do a very good job on the back of the box. I did pick this one out. Got a nice little ding down there. I was like, give me the box in the back, and then he pulled it out. I was like, oh, it's a little ding. And I was like, perfect. That's what we want. So we're going to get into this and see how we do. I haven't ripped a ton of basketball this year, hobby-wise. But the football stuff coming out, I'm not really loving the price. So I figured, I don't know, for 200 bucks, let's see how we do on a fast break product. Why not? I do like the design of Mosaic this year. They made every other version of Mosaic better, so why wouldn't this be better than expected? So let's say we got a red and an orange in the first pack, or maybe probably a red and an insert. Mosaic's probably one of my favorite sets each year. Just love the design. So that's all base. Let's see what this insert is. We have, a Luka Stairmaster. Please tell me that's numbered. Behind it, we got Levine. Luka is to 99. There we go. Little first pack magic right there. So this was the first set, I believe, of him in the Lakers jersey. And as you've heard me say, any numbered Luka's a good Luka. Especially his cards in the Laker jersey, I think are going to fetch a decent little premium. I do love Luka. As a Celtics fan, I wish he wasn't on the Lakers, but what are you going to do? So there's the red. I think that's the 99. Yep. So red's the highest numbered one out of 99. Zach LaVine. Give him a sleeve. Then we have Dylan Jones, Wimby on the City Edition, and Tyler Kolek. So far, first pack was good. Now, let's hope that's not the best one we hit. You are going to hit an auto in each box. Mosaic's one of those sets where the auto really isn't what you're looking for. You're looking for the good parallels. But I'm sure there's a few good names on the checklist, along with a bunch of not-so-good ones. So we got another red. All base on the front still. There we go, a Stephon Castle notoriety insert. Not too shabby. And then Jordan Clarkson on the red. That's going to be to 99. And we got Risa Shea, Ron Holland, and Jacoby Walter. Sleeve up Castle. Risa Shea, #1 pick in the draft. He ended the year pretty strong, so he'll get a sleeve. And then another red. I'm curious how many numbered to how many of the base parallels we get. So far, it's 3 reds. Just got the base parallel in this one. Suggs, Franz, Horford, Wendell Carter, Malik, Benedict, Boyan. Let's see who this is. Come on, rookie. Nope, we got Herb Jones. All right, we got a Herb Jones parallel. Jared McCain on the NBA debut. Yves Missy, and a City Edition of Durant. Put you there. So I'm really hoping to hit a nice Buzelis. He's kind of my favorite rookie of the bunch, I'd say. Castle's the big one. I know he won Rookie of the Year, but I think long term, if I had to bet, I'd put money on Buzelis. Or, you know, going into the year, I really liked Reed Shepherd. He didn't play much, but with the Van Vliet injury, he's either going to, A, have to play a lot more for the Rockets, who now have Durant and are title hopefuls, or B, they're going to make a big trade and he'll probably be in it. Zion on the montage. And then, ooh, okay, so there's our one variation per box. And we got Bub Carrington, which isn't terrible. So that's horizontal. So you get one fast break rookie variation per box. It doesn't say variation on the back, but, oh, there it is. There's the V. There it is on the horizontal. I don't love the horizontals, but I don't hate it when it's just like, hey, one variation. Where's my other? There it is. Put Bub back here. So far, let's see what we finish out with. We got Reza Shea, Tyler Smith, and an Edie debut. So yeah, we're in kind of a slow spot. I mean, we have some stuff coming out. Football Mosaic drops in a couple weeks. Be excited for that. Ooh, a pink. I think that's to 25 or 50. Mosaic football drops. That's always a big one, with the case hits and the stained glass and micro mosaic. I'll be interested if it comes, you know, if they try to juice it and change it up like they did basketball, or if they kind of leave it the same. Not a rookie. Jalen Johnson. All right, that's not terrible. What's that number 2? 20. So we got a Jalen Johnson pink to 20. Really hoping for a bigger name on that one, but we will take it. He's not a terrible player. He was hurt last year, but he is solid. And we got Reed, NBA greats Tim Duncan, and Devin Carter. And then for basketball, we're at the point right now where they're dropping all of the big sets. So you got like Immaculate and Silhouette came out. I think Flawless. So I would call it a slow spot. There's our auto, I'm guessing. There's LeBron. Wouldn't mind getting him on a parallel. Let's see who our auto is. Fast break for the Pistons. Bobby Clement. Should have saw that coming. So our auto is Bobby Clement, who is all over Panini products. And I watch a decent amount of basketball. I don't remember ever seeing him. So I'm not saying I watch a ton of Pistons, but not a guy I remember hearing a lot about. We got a Mosaic parallel, Terrence Mann. Then our rookies are Yuki, Alex Sarr City Edition, and A.J. Johnson in his Wizards jersey. Hopefully a few more numbered cards. Something tells me that Luka might be the best one we get, but I'm hoping it's not. Okay, we got a blue. I see green, so hopefully it's a Celtic. At least get a PC hit out of this. Russell Westbrook, TJ McConnell. We got the Jokic insert. And Peyton Pritchard. There we go on the blue. I don't hate that. 6th man of the year for the PC out of 85. I will take that. For sure. Then we have City Edition Paulo, Tristan Newton, and NBA debut of Yuki. So we got next month, and I haven't seen the release dates yet, but in October is when the license switched over. So there'll be, so we got another, is that another pink or is that a purple? And then a blue insert maybe? So October is when Topps is supposed to take over the license. So I imagine we'll see some sort of Topps drop with the new class, Cooper Flag and everybody. That'll be interesting. I wonder if they're going to do, you know, strictly chrome cards, if they go like baseball and do a little bit of everything. Old Jimmy Buckets on the Montage Blue. And then Dame on the purple. So the Montage Blue Jimmy out of 85. Not too bad. I should have put my Pritchard in a top loader. Then we hit Dame purple. What's that number 2? Is that 50 or 60? 50. Very nice. See, these aren't bad. I mean, for $200 to get these kind of numbered cards, I enjoy the design. It's really not a terrible buy. I mean, it's going to be hard to knock it out the park and get a $1,000 card or something like that, but bang for your buck. This is a fun little rip. Looks like we're down to 4 packs. Just a base parallel in this one. But yeah, I'll be curious. Do they go baseball and they run like the paper flagship sets with the different series? I mean, I doubt they'll do that because there's no real call-ups. But, oh, there we go, Anthony Black. Could be worse. Tristan, another Risachet, and Oso Igudoro. Or do they, you know, just run chrome sets with basketball? It'll be interesting to see what Topps does finally having the license. You know, is there new sets? Do they come back with, do all the Topps hits? You know, is it just what we've seen, but with, you know, licensing? I'll be very curious. They do some pretty cool stuff with baseball. Got Cavalier. Oh, Donovan Mitchell. Oh, a rookie. Jalen Tyson. Pull a lot of him, too. AJ Mitchell, City Edition, and KJ Simpson. So, like I said, I haven't seen release dates yet. I don't know how long it'll take them, but they do have the license now, or starting in October here in about a week or so. Don't know the exact date, but I imagine we'll get some sort of press release and schedule then. I'm curious how long they'll slow roll it. I know in football, they don't get it till next year, and they said they won't release any football until they get it, so. It was weird. Topps did just drop that royalty box, which is still Wemby's rookie year, so it's way out of release. So they put rookie logos on it, but, ooh, Jalen Brunson. Okay, that's not a bad one. His stuff does pretty good, I feel like. And then NBA Greats of Larry Legend. You know, that's another product that, well, I didn't hate looking at it. It's like $600 a box. Just trying to pump out Wemby rookie autos. Oh, last pack mojo. Let's see if we can get one more decent numbered. So far, fun rip, but that Luka is really all we have to show for it. One more numbered card would be nice. Nope. And let's see, Dorian Finney-Smith. Give me a rookie logo. Boom, Jared McCain. Awesome, one of the better rookies to pull. We got City Edition Shea, Terrence Shannon, and Bub. So we'll definitely take a McCain anytime we can get it. Wish that was one of the numbereds. That and a blue or a red would be kind of sick, but. All right, so we had, let's take a peek here. So the base parallels, that was numbered. Those were just rookies, that was numbered. So we had, were all of these numbered? Yeah. So For the base, we had one insert and then 4 others that were non-numbered, 2 rookies. We had our 1 variation. And then numbered cards, I feel like there was more than I was expecting. I mean, you had the Luka out of 99. You had Levine and Clarkson out of 99. We got the purple out of 50. We hit out of 85 on the Pritchard. We hit out of 20 on the Jalen Johnson. And then the Montage out of 85. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbered cards. 7 numbered cards with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other base parallels. I mean, that's not terrible. You know, I would definitely, someone who wants to have fun ripping a $200 box, I'd recommend this, you know, for sure. Absolutely. I'm going to go through and do what I did on my last few videos. Organize this a tiny bit and kind of show you what I plan on doing with the cards. So I will be back in, for me, a few minutes, for you about 2 seconds. All right, so let's talk about what we got. First off, we had a big old stack of base here. Nothing really to talk about there. Did hit 1 PC card. This blue Pritchard will be staying with me out of 85. Love that. Big fan of Peyton Pritchard, so definitely be keeping that with me. This stack right here is going to go into the repack boxes. So the Levine out of 99, Clarkson, then we had Tyson, Black, Zion parallels, and then all of the base rookies. That Mosaic, Herbert Jones. So all of those will get dispersed into their team boxes as needed. This stack here is going to go to my first ComC order, which I might do a video on. I haven't gotten enough to where I feel like it's worth it yet. I've been kind of going through my cards. So my thing with ComC is going to be, if it's worth more than $5, but less than 25, 30, somewhere in that range, but something that I think will eventually. So like, for instance, Lillard, not the biggest name. This card goes for like $5, $6, $7 from what I can tell. It is out of 50, but it's a low enough number. You know, if it's a big enough name like him, numbered 75 or less, you know, somewhere in that range, I'm thinking ComC is the way to go. You know, the Jalen Johnson numbered to 20. His rookie of this that I found does like 50. Last year's was the only one I could find, only does like 10. So that feels like a good ComC. You know, you hope someone is browsing there looking to finish off their Jalen Johnson or their Hawks rainbow. And there's only 20 of these, so it can sit on there for as long as it wants. And then same thing with the Montage here. You know, $6, $7 card. This stack right here is going to go to the Whatnot. So the Jared McCain, looked at for grading this. Couple tiny things on the surface, nothing crazy, but it's not a big enough card to where I think it's worth risking a 9. It's only a $5, $6 card. So you get a 9, you're losing money off the rip. So it's not worth it if it ain't perfect. And then the Bobby Clinton auto. Whatnot's a great place for random autos. People will always buy ink when they see it. So all of my random autos, I send there. And then these 3 are going to go to grading. We have the Bub Carrington variation. Not a huge name right now, but he's the kind of guy I think you send to the old upgrade shop. He comes out hot next year. A nice variation of him. Should do okay. Jalen Brunson. The Knicks should be a pretty damn good team next year. He's the focal point of that. He's always someone, especially earlier in the year, is getting some sort of MVP hype. They're chanting for him in New York. I think a parallel of him will do okay. And then the best card we had, the Luka out of 99. This thing's super clean. It's a Luka. I looked it up. This is like a $20 card raw, 15, 20 bucks. So I would think in a 10, you're looking at 50 plus. So, which is the cards I love to send. If I know I can get at least 50 bucks out of a 10 and around 20, which is my grading cost, and a 9, then I'm pretty comfortable sending something off. You know, that's the range I love to be in. Obviously, I'd love to send stuff bigger, but don't always hit it. So there's the plan there. That's kind of what's going to happen with this box. You know, obviously, did we get $200 of value? Probably not. You know, you could say these are 5-10 cents a piece because they're going in my boxes. And then these are probably $6 or $7 a piece. Call them 5, 10, 15. On Whatnot, I bet I get a couple bucks for this, maybe 6 or 7 for this. And then you hope to get 50 and then 20 each, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So, you know, I probably, if all that works out, I'm probably somewhere close to, you know, not doing terrible in this box. And, you know, it's all just about squeezing out the value, keeping what I want. You know, I'm keeping one of the cards, obviously. And, you know, having fun with it. So, like, subscribe, tell me guys, you know, tell me what you guys think. And I will see you guys on the next one. And don't forget, down below, eBay and Whatnot. Got my links down there. Take a look. And have a good one.